Tomorrow is a house of brands focused on the younger consumer. We solve uniquely for the Gen Z and millennial consumers. Some of our brands are more Gen Z focused, some of our brands are more millennial focused. A big source of our growth has been largely driven by the strength of the brands that we have. We have today 3 large brands in our portfolio which operate in established categories like men's casual. So these are brands like Bevuku, which own the expressive wear market with a lot of pop culture and fandom themes. We have celebrity-led brands like Wrong, which solve for the slightly older millennial, but have very breakaway fashion offerings. And we also have brands like Indian Garage, which solve for the larger India, but very high on fashion quotient and a trend-led play. We also have emerging brands in our portfolio like Nobero, which have been category creators. From almost nothing, we've taken them to a 200 to 250 crore scale and almost creating a new category from scratch. And this is in a category that we trademarked called Fashleisure, which is fashion-forward athleisure, solving for the millennial social traveler persona. So, as you know, travel is not only gone mainstream, but the fashion needs for a millennial for travel is what Nobero solves. We also have 2 brands in our portfolio which solve for the larger India, Bharat brands, a value denim brand called Urbano, and also an expressive wear brand called Viedo. We're roughly at a $150 million scale. As of last year, we closed the full year at a $120 million full year scale. As we speak, we've crossed the $150 million mark from a run rate perspective, alongside significant improvement in unit economics and paths to profitability, and also building further distinctiveness as a brand in terms of what the consumer is really coming to the brand for, with a lot of loyalty and repeat-led growth. Today, we have the 3 large brands are roughly 65% of our business, and the other three brands constitute the balance 35. But of course, the smaller brands have seen more of a hyper-growth trajectory given their starting point was smaller, and also the category itself was an emerging category where we had a category build-out role to play. The larger brands have grown faster than market and gaining share not just on their existing channels, but also building new channels from scratch. Trying to look at that as a multi-brand D2C offering as a pilot, where we believe that not only can we bring the right curated set of brands to the consumer, and some of it may also carry other brands outside of our portfolio, but with a faster delivery promise as well. As quick commerce is coming to different verticals, we think the potential in fashion can also be large. So we're starting the journey with a pilot around multi-brand D2C, but the same could extend into offline also as a multi-brand offline format, but that's not something we're looking at immediately.
Okay.
We're of course right now piloting across all the horizontal platforms like Zepto, but also the vertical quick commerce platforms all the way from Intra Now to the smaller players which have come up in the recent 12 to 18 months. So we're looking to understand what are the consumer demand drivers, what is the kind of range that lends itself to the quick commerce use case, right? Which is different from the, let's say, a D2C or an offline shopping use case. And once we see a greater promise in terms of not just the demand drivers, but the supply fulfillment aspects stabilizing. In parallel, of course, part of our effort has been, in fact, as of this week, we've launched the 2-hour delivery for Bevuku in Bangalore on both the website and the app. So this is to serve the consumer with even greater convenience and more of an instant gratification kind of use case. In men's casual and women's casual, we play in multiple categories, from t-shirts to shirts to denim, kind of large categories, to emerging bottom wear categories like cargo pants. We also play in athleisure and active wear, and fashion-forward athleisure in particular, not just regular core classic athleisure, but more fashion-centric athleisure. And we also play in some innovative products which are either solving for travel or solving for specific use cases like active wear, which is a lot more fabric tech and product innovation in the product build out. So going into next year, of course, we have some initiatives which are right now in pilot mode, but the only thing I can share right now is the active wear opportunity, which we are looking to expand significantly. So both Wrong is going to launch Wrong Active in a bigger way. And
nice.
Nobero, which is our athleisure brand, is expanding into activewear in a big way. I think the licensing opportunity has been large and continues to grow, but we've also looked at it not just from a official merchandise with different licensing partners, but also being able to create originals which don't have to bank on licenses. A lot of pop culture and fandom in a country like India is not just global pop culture and global fandom themes like Marvel or Disney. A lot of it is also regional flavors to pop culture and also some original thinking around. For example, when Chandrayaan launched, Bebukov was the first brand to ride on it as a moment of pride for the country, right? Now that's not a theme that you need a license for. But if you want to partner with someone like ISRO or Indian Army, some of our brands have done collections which are partnering with even local licenses to also bring out not just the Made in India theme, but also the national sentiment around what's born here and built here, right? So I think licensing, of course, is important, but not the only hook to how we look at collaboration and collections. We've put out our longer-term ambition of being $1 billion house of brands. The first milestone, of course, is to cross the 500 million mark over the next 3-4 years. Like I said, today we are at a 150 million scale already and growing quite rapidly. And as we expand significantly across channels, across categories, we'll soon, I think, be able to cross the $250 million mark and get on the path to. But over time, we're looking to build multiple 1,000 crore brands which are already number one, number two in their category, but over time become mainstream lifestyle brands which truly own the consumer that they're solving for. And we'll also have some mid-sized brands in the 400, 500 crore zone, particularly in categories where the category itself is being built out.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so right now we're doing some pilots both in the Middle East and also in the US. Some of the pilots are with large marketplaces, and some pilots will be our own D2C presence. And coming out of that learning, we'll form a deeper conviction going into next year in terms of what's the global potential for our brands, right? Of course, even platforms like Myntra have recently launched Myntra Global to take Myntra into Singapore and rest of Asia. So we're also piloting with them and partnering with them to understand how each brand has a strength in different markets. And we also think in some markets there could be a offline expansion possibility as well, especially in the Middle East. There's a definite possibility for some store expansion as well. Travel and Nobero, I've always Soul Store and Snitch have done a phenomenal job in terms of how they build. The Hard Things About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz. I think music and cricket, so